You know why I love college IUs? Because it's just a bunch of burnt out, sleep deprived, barely adults who probably are in desperate need of a glass of water interacting. And it's just so funny because it's like 19-year-olds who cry over their feet looking like Powerpuff Girl feet. Like, I just read one where Will Salas accidentally broke into Nico's dorm, and Nico walked into his kitchen to see Will sitting on the counter eating straight out of a jar of Nutella, and in this year he's never seen Will before in his life. And his response to seeing this was just to close the door and go back to studying for his class. Because he's so sleep deprived that he's not convinced that what he saw is actually real, and on the off chance that it was, well, he has a class to study for, so, you know, maybe he'll get murdered, maybe he won't. He doesn't have the time to deal with it. And if that's not the biggest mood, as someone who's at the tail end of their last year of high school, I don't know what is. If you knock over one more expensive cake, I think your mom's gonna disinherit you. Oh my god, you came! Of course I did. Though, it did seem like the Secret Service were gonna requisition me from my apartment if I didn't come. Look, presidency hasn't changed me that much. I'm still as aggressive a party instigator as I ever was. I'd be disappointed if you weren't, man. Alex? Shit, Henry, this is Liam. Oh, okay. So I take it you've heard of me. Oh, a little bit. I am scared. Anyway, I'm Henry, the prince who pulled Alex's head out of his ass. Oh no, I may be an heir to a throne, but I cannot work miracles. Henry! Fair enough, fair enough. But I gotta ask, were you aware that he called me back in January to ask if he was bisexual? No, I was not. But you know what's funny? What? It just so happens that the first time I ever kissed him was on New Year's. Oh no, you're fucking kidding. That might be related. No, are you fucking kidding me? We were making out all throughout high school and he thought it was just a normal thing straight guys did. You kiss him once and he has a sexuality crisis? Unfair. Well, I mean, in my defense, he didn't realize that I was in love with him even though I was sending him love poems for months. Okay, you get a pass. Guys, I am right here. Sorry, you're just so short, you're like completely out of our field of view. Dude! Did you hear something? You know, I thought so, but like I can't see anyone who could have possibly said anything. Okay, but are we really gonna ignore the obvious? What do you mean? Oh, I see what you mean. Oh no, this cannot be good. So Alex totally has a type, right? Oh, 100%. Like, look at us. Oh my god, no. You could tell that, couldn't you? Oh, now you acknowledge me. Avoiding the question, I see. I don't know what you're talking about. He's totally aware of his type. Henry, I swear to God, I'm gonna make sure you end up on a no-fly list. Sure you are. God, I hate it here. I mean, you're surrounded by men that are your type. I think you're doing fine. Oh my god, fuck you both. You would love that, wouldn't you? I am leaving! Hello, I don't believe we met. I'm a professor here. Are you one of the parents? I am, yeah, I'm here for my son. Oh, which one is he? Will Salas. You're Will Salas's dad. Oh, wow. You must be very proud. I am. But why? He's graduating top of his class. Oh yeah. I did tell him I would be proud when he did that. Yeah. Okay. You really had faith in him, didn't you? I mean, he's my son, of course. Right. Hey, who's that kid with him? I don't believe he goes to school here. Kid? Oh, that's Nico. Nico, you know him? Mm-hmm, he's Will's boyfriend. Oh, Will has a boyfriend? Mm-hmm. So how do you feel about that? Well, I mean, Nico's kind of got that emo, brooding vibe going on, which was never my thing, even when I was Will's age. But he makes Will happy, which is, like, the most important thing. So even though I don't really understand his type, he's happy. Oh, you meant like how I felt about him having a boyfriend rather than a girlfriend. Oh!
Can I just make a note that I find it so funny how people talk about Greek gods?
Because the thing is that I was raised Catholic, and I don't know if this is the typical Catholic experience, but whenever I would go to church and pray, like anytime we would talk to or about God, it was very much like, do not say bad things about him. Even if it's like calling him a himbo, just don't. Like when I stopped really praying to the Christian God and stuff, I would try to pray to other ones, and I would pray in a similar way that I would to God in church. And the thing about how I was taught to pray to God is that the way I was taught to pray was basically, I'm not worthy of you. I'm not good enough for you. However, I will spend every day of my life trying to make this up to you if you'll help me now. Like, forgive me for the bad things I've done. I'm not worthy of you. Thank you for creating me. I'm not being hyperbolic there. Like, people wonder why I have self-esteem issues when I was literally told to say I'm not worthy over and over and over again since I was a literal child. But when I started learning more about Greek mythology, I realized people do not talk about Greek gods the way that the Catholic people I knew talked about God or Jesus. Like, I would get yelled at for saying, oh my God, or Jesus Christ. They're like, don't you dare take the Lord's name in vain. And then in, like, Greek myths and stuff, people are like, oh wow, yeah, Zeus couldn't keep it in his pants, or Apollo is a himbo. And even though I see that all the time, I'm terrified to talk about the gods. I'm terrified to mention any specific god's names because I don't want to say it and then have them hear me say something that might upset them. Because when I was raised Catholic, I was taught, okay, you're respectful to God or you go to hell. And I mean, to be fair, in Greek myths, don't disrespect the gods. Don't do that. However, a good chunk of the time, they seem too busy to care if you're actually just talking about them, you know? Like, if you do something to directly screw them over, then they get pissed at you and, like, mess with your life. But otherwise, like, people are calling the king of gods the god of one-night stands. People are calling the sun god a himbo! That's my tangent for today about Greek mythology as someone who was raised Catholic. I don't think I'll ever fully get used to how people talk about Greek gods compared to how I was raised to talk about the metaphysical god. I think that confidence is utter BS for, like, doing things right, because I got 100% on my social essay that I was convinced that I didn't even finish properly. Like, I spent so much time on that essay killing myself over that essay, and I had absolutely no confidence in that essay, and I turned it in and got 100%. What? And earlier in the year, I was pretty well confident in what I wrote for an English essay on Othello, and I got 70% on it. She's like, you have a solid essay, you just didn't give enough detail. It's like, well, I was really confident. I thought I did great here. What? So I need to submit a grad quote, and I've come up with 3 options, and I don't know which one is the best one. Comment your opinions. Quote number 1 is, can I sue the creators of those teen rom-coms for false advertisement? Quote number 2 is, I survived a pandemic to get here, but I still cry over trigonometry. So that's something. And the 3rd and final quote is, my personality has boiled down to 4 things these last 3 years. I'm short, I'm gay, I can't do math, and I drink about as much caffeine as a college student during finals. Please, which one is your favorite? Because I have literally sent them to multiple people and gotten conflicting answers.
It's so late, but this is due tomorrow.
Hey. Just finish it in the morning.
In the morning? Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, you stupid bitch. What? I said your eyes are drooping, which means you need Betty Bye. Okay, I'll just wake up earlier. Totally. Keep lying to yourself. What? I said keep lying yourself down, you sweet, sweet baby. Okay. I know myself well enough that this is gonna be a good idea. Moron. What? I said get your snore on, girls.
get to scream into nothing. All the things I should probably tell my therapist. No, I just tell my kitchen sink. I think I have commitment issues.
I've just realized that if the Percy Jackson TV show does well, that means we're gonna see an actual live-action 10-year-old Nico saying, "Where's Bianca?" and crying, "You promised me!" And I'm not prepared! I kind of have a theory. I don't know if theory's the right word, but it's the best I got. And in order to explain this theory, I'm going to be talking about the supernatural fandom, and more specifically, Wincest. I don't ship Wincest. However, its existence and popularity in the fandom really does support what I'm trying to say. And honestly, it's the main reason that I started thinking about this. So it's going to sound like that I'm pro Wincest for a hot minute, but stick with me, because I think you're going to be like, oh shit, once I get to the point. So in most fandoms, ships between siblings happen, though they do not usually get the amount of popularity that the ship between Sam and Dean did in the supernatural fandom. And I think partially it's just because people ship what they know, and for the longest time, their dynamic, their relationship was the only one that was really developed on the show. I mean, I guess it wasn't that long. That kind of changed around season 4, but still, I'm pretty sure every single episode has both of them in it. I personally don't remember an episode where one was in it and not the other. I could be wrong, but again, even if it did happen, it would be pretty uncommon. But from the very beginning, the relationship between Sam and Dean was very important to the show. How much they cared about each other was incredibly important to the show. That was kind of the point of the show, was like family, but especially the relationship between Sam and Dean. They were very codependent even from season 1, and they were not willing to live in a world where the other one was not alive. Like, Dean got hurt in season 1 and had like a couple weeks or something, and Sam did everything to save Dean. Dean sold his soul at the end of season 2 because Sam was dead, and he didn't want to live in a world where Sam was not alive. He was willing to be tormented eternally and only have 1 year with Sam rather than live in a world without him. And in the next season, Sam is trying everything to save Dean, so much so that he draws attention from the trickster. I'm not totally clear on if the trickster was Gabriel at that point, but either way, he went out of his way to teach Sam the lesson that Dean was his weakness, and Sam needed to learn how to live and be okay without Dean. And Sam just wouldn't do it, wouldn't accept it. And that's a consistent pattern throughout all of the seasons. They're not willing to live in a world without the other, and they're willing to tear apart the rest of the world for that. Because they only had each other when they were growing up. Their dad was like never there. Their dad forced Dean to raise Sam. They only ever consistently had each other. Now, it sounds like, with that observation, that I actually do ship them. But the thing is, I don't. And here's where my theory comes in. That relationship was so popular because people think that if you love someone to a certain extent, then it has to be romantic. People think that romantic and sexual relationships are more valuable than platonic and familial ones. They don't think that a sibling relationship is as valuable as a romantic one. That if you love someone that much, it has to be romantic.
Hey, excuse me, isn't that your son?
What?
The blonde one?
Yeah. Will.
Yes, Will. I didn't know if you knew his name.
Is he your kid or not?
Oh yeah, he is.
So there's like a creepy kid kind of like sneaking up on him, just so you know. Creepy kid? Where? The kid with the dark hair and the bomber jacket, hiding behind a tree. Oh, Nico! You know that kid?
Yeah, I brought him here.
You brought a random child to your son's school? He's not a random child, he's Will's boyfriend. His boyfriend? Yeah. So, how do you feel about that? I mean, the dark and brooding type has never been my thing, but if it makes Will happy... What? What? Oh! Did you you mean how I felt about him having a boyfriend, like, instead of a girlfriend? Well, I've had more boyfriends than he has. Oh, and more girlfriends, but I don't know if he's interested in having a girlfriend. I mean, obviously, he's only really interested in Nico, so... Would you be less uncomfortable about my son having a boyfriend if I told you I gave birth to his sister? What? I don't know how to make this situation better.
I look like ass because I feel it, but there's like multiple comments asking the same thing. You don't need part 1 to understand part 2 because it's literally just a different scenario based on the exact same concept. I think I made that one on a whim to like get the ideas out, and then I made the first one, which was a little cleaner. But apparently people like this one more, so okay, I guess. It's attached to the playlist that video is attached to. And I look the exact same because I made the videos like within minutes of each other. There's text in the video that says something along the lines of like, Happy Pride Month, this is your reminder that when asked about his son's boyfriend, Apollo's immediate thought was that they were asking him about his taste in men and not his son having a boyfriend in general.
Dude, why are some of the cabins like so full and then some of them are empty? What's going on with that?
Oh, so the cabins are dedicated to each god, so children stay in the cabin that's dedicated to their godly parent.
Oh, okay. So like the other ones would be for maiden goddesses like Athena and Artemis? Sorta. Athena does have kids, actually. She's a virgin goddess, isn't she? She is, yeah, but, you know, I guess with her being the goddess of wisdom, she's able to make children with a really powerful thought. Okay, so, like, they're born the same way she was. I guess weirder things have happened.
Yeah. So what about the other ones? Well, Hera, goddess of marriage and family, only has kids with Zeus. I see you.
Yeah, and then Zeus.
Hold on, what? What? Did you just say Zeus's cabin is empty?
Yeah, he's only really had 2 kids in the last century or so. One of them became a hunter of Artemis, and the other was with his Roman equivalent, so...
Zeus has only had 2 demigod children in the last century?
Yeah?
You're messing with me, right? No. Right, okay, so the 2 cabins that are stuffed full, who are they for?
Apollo and Hermes.
Okay, I guess that adds up, but also 2 children in 100 years. What?
Yeah, do you need me to, like, confirm my story, cite my sources?
Kinda, yeah.
Jeez. Hey. Hi, what's up? New camper.
Okay, how can I help? Zeus has only had 2 demigod children in the last century, right?
Yeah. What?
This has to be a running joke here. Like Zeus. Father of, like, what, half of Greece?
What?
You're shitting me. You're shitting me. You're at a camp full of demigods and you don't know about Zeus's history with... Oh my...
I'm so confused.
You and me both. God of one night stands is no more. Rip.
What? Hey, Percy, do you want to meet a new camper?
Sure. Hi.
This is Perseus Jackson. He's kind of a big deal around here.
Just Percy's good. Hi.
Hey, I've heard a bit about you. You saved the world twice.
Yeah. And you're 18?
Yeah. I want to say that's cool, but that's honestly kind of scary.
Yeah, it's a bit of both, honestly. Fair enough. Child of Zeus, right? They're always involved in this sort of stuff.
Actually, Poseidon.
Oh. But your name is Perseus?
Yeah.
Perseus, like the child of Zeus?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that wasn't Poseidon's idea.
No, but my mom, like, had good intentions with choosing the name.
I guess she did. It could have been worse, too, I guess. It could have been Hercules.
Honestly, If I was named Hercules, I would purposefully go on an airplane so Zeus would strike me out of the sky. That is fair. Wow, you two are gonna get along swimmingly. No, he already had Nico and Bianca when they made the pact. Their pact was to have no more children. He already had children. Then Zeus tried to kill them, so he hid them in the Lotus Casino. Then he cursed the Oracle. So no, he's the only one that didn't break the pact, because the pact was to have no more children. He already had children. Pact not broken.
Oh, trust me, I know.
You have no idea how annoying I find it that the Disney movie Hercules is called Hercules, and they call him Hercules the whole goddamn movie, but use the Greek names for everyone else. Like, it's one thing if you're telling the story, but it's another thing if you're, like, framing it as if it's currently happening, where they would have all called him Heracles. Please. But I'm going off of the fact that, for the most part, people know the name Hercules more than anything. And I don't know how much backing, like, the myths have for this, but he basically explained it that he was named for Hera, and because of his relationship with Hera, he really was not against being renamed as something that connected him to her, you know? But I do understand the frustration, but I think it makes more sense to use Hercules in the context that I did. The first thing I would do is make sure the poor newbie demigods don't have to suffer through the orientation film. What orientation film? You know, it lets the demigods in, it turns the monsters out, it keeps the half-bloods safe, but it turns the mortals all about. It's misty and it's magic and it makes me want to shout. The border is all about. Nico, you're scaring the other campers more than usual. Oh, come on, you've all heard that annoying song, right? It's from Welcome to Camp Half-Blood. The orientation film? You mean I just sang in public, and I'm the only one who's ever seen that stupid film? So far, anyway. Where exactly did you see this cinematic masterpiece? Chiron's office in the big house. Where are you going?
Chiron's office in the big house.
Connor, Chiron's office is locked.
Is it? We'll see about that.